knitters, I'm back again. We're ready to pick up the sleeve stitches from the project. I haven't quite finished the bottom, but I think you get the idea. This would just have a little bit more knitting here and then ribbing at the end. I ran out of that wool, so I thought I'll just move on and show you how to do the sleeve picking up section. So what we'll be doing is I'll just use a contrast color so that you can see what I'm actually doing. And the first thing that you have to do is to slip the stitches from the cord, whether it's your waste yarn, or a circular holder, or if it's a cable, then you can just attach your needles and you're ready to go. But if we're doing it this way, we need to pop them onto our needle. I'm using an 80 centimeter, 6.5 millimeter, 80 centimeter, which is measured tip to tip, because we'll be doing the sleeves with magic loop. Your 40 centimeter needles were used for the body, but they'll be the wrong size for sleeves. You could use double pointed needles if you wanted to, but in the class I've already shown you how to use magic loop to do the neck, so we're going to use that technique again for the sleeves. So there we have, our 16 stitches are on our long needle, and then following the instructions on the pattern, we need to start by having the right side of the work facing us. And we'll be beginning here at the center of the underarm stitches. So by right side, it means this smooth knit side. We're not doing it on the inside. We're going to be working this way. So move the work so that it faces you like this. We're going to start with the right hand needle, and we're going to find our 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then start with the first one in the middle here. Okay, it's debatable where you put your needle. Some people would like to put it directly into the stitch, and you can see this little horizontal cap belonging to this column of stitches. Here, 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 there are 3. But other people suggest that putting the needle between them is more secure and a bit easier. The moral is you can do whatever you want. As long as you pick up evenly along the bottom, it really doesn't matter. It is also recommended that rather than just going through one loop like that, which could possibly make a hole, that you at least go through 2. So if I stick the needle in, I'm capturing the 2. The front and back of the top, and if I went through here, I'd still have 2 strands, and that way just helps keep it secure. So I'm going to go in here. I always tell my students not to be too fussed about this part. It's not as hard as it seems, and the end result is really similar no matter what method you use, so please don't worry about it. Just put the needle in wherever you think it fits. So then you put your yarn over. I've just folded it because I'm starting a new ball, leaving a nice tail that I could use to weave in my ends later. I hold on to these 2 strands and pull them quite tightly so that I've got nice tension, so that I can pull that strand out of the stitches, and that's my first stitch. So that's 1. I'm doing it again. I'm going into the next one, which is here. It's a bit tough to get the needle in. 2. And 3. There's the 3 stitches. So we had 6. We're starting in the center, so we've got 3. Now, to avoid this big gap, I told you in the last video that I've got a little trick, which I do. So first, pop your stitches onto your needle. Most patterns will just have you knit directly here, and which leaves a nice little hole. but to try and avoid that hole, I'm just going to manipulate this, give myself some space. What I like to do is, in the pattern I say to pick up a stitch from the corner. So you could just go in here and then that can help. But I tend to pick up a leg from either side. So I grab one from here and one from here. And then I knit those two together, so to speak. So I pop my yarn around and just tighten up that little hole by crossing it there like that. Yeah. Again, not terribly fussed about where you grab those stitches. You know, I just like to come from one leg over here, maybe here, and then one from under that stitch there. But you could, you know, grab it from anywhere, so you do that. Make the stitch. That can be a little tricky, but there you go. It's kind of closed up that hole. It's still a little one, but we can sew that up later. And then we're going to knit the 16 stitches. Now I'm in my magic loop position again. Remember, with the magic loop, we've got our 2 loops. We've just pulled the cable out of the way at the halfway point. You do not have to be precise about where that is, just wherever you need to do it to make it feel comfortable to knit. So we're going to knit around the sleeve stitches, flip, oh, they're a bit tight, there we go. Remember, with the magic loop, you push both needles in, you drape the working yarn over the back needle, we pull that back needle out, and we start knitting at the front. Okay. And next, we've got another corner to deal with. So I'm just going to pull my cord out here. So I've got my 2 needles. Now, this corner, I'm going to grab this one, and there's my first stitch. So maybe, what do we think? Here? Here? There's your corner stitch. And then the final 3 stitches from the cast on edge. That's 1. That's 2. And finally 3. Okay, I have all of the stitches that I need for my sleeve. Should be 24. You'll pop a marker here. Oh, I don't have one handy. So to indicate the beginning of round, and then you'll just knit around and around and following the instructions to do your decreases and etc. And with this corner stitch that I picked up, it does become an extra stitch. You can do this even if the pattern doesn't call for it, but what you want to do is in the next round, and I have that in my pattern on round 1, is you need to do a knit 2 together to get rid of that extra stitch, because it's not in the stitch count really for the sleeves. You don't want your sleeve to be too big by adding that extra one on each side, so just do a knit 2 together on both sides to get rid of it.